Hello and welcome to my reflective video. Within this video it's mainly around my personal development plan. At the start of my second year of university I devised a personal development plan using a CIPD template. There are many benefits of a personal development plan. So before creating my plan I first looked at the CIPD professional map. As you can see behind me, the map has a lot of different skills and behaviours. I use this to benchmark myself against to see whether I had these skills and qualities that would be suitable post-university. In developing my personal development plan, I incorporated this map within it to meet these skills that I did lack from the self-assessment method. So within this section, it's all about my own personal development plan. So I first created a SWOT analysis that allowed me to identify any strengths, weaknesses, and also identify threats and opportunities throughout the year. So from the SWOT analysis, strengths were identified such as that I have a lot of past work experience within the HR sector from work experience in college and also from the experiences that I've gained from working. This allowed me to develop communication, teamwork and flexibility skills. My weaknesses include that I do lack a lot of business knowledge as I did not do any business related subjects prior to my degree. So I wanted to improve my strategic thinking and planning and also improve my CV. Opportunities include a 1-year placement. So behind me now is my personal development plan. 5 main objectives throughout the year was devised, and that included applying for a placement, creating a time log to manage my time more effectively, develop a more detailed understanding of business procedures, improve my managerial skills and participate in activities which will improve my CV. So throughout the year, initially I discussed what I would do to achieve this and what resources that I would need to help me. So in reference to my placement objective, my success criteria was whether I secured a placement or not. I haven't secured a placement, however, I have since decided that I don't think a placement would be beneficial for me. Although I know that you will gain a lot of experiences and it would assist me in my final year, I do think that having a year out, it would make it more difficult for me to adjust back to university life in my final year, and I am motivated to just get into my final year now. My target date and review for this objective, I initially started applying in September last year and I have been continuously applying up until about January, and since then I haven't really seen any more about. So this is just an overview of my goals that I previously stated. In this section of the video I'm going to discuss experiences that I've participated in throughout the year to try and achieve my goals. So my first goal was applying for placement. So I'd made several attempts in applying for placements within HR and HR related roles. I wanted to ensure that it would be beneficial for me to go and do that placement, so I did want to make sure it was HR related. Applying for placements allowed me to gain an insight into the competitiveness of that kind of market and especially what to be expected in the graduate market. So I feel like it has really motivated me to improve on my skills to ensure that I am established when it comes to applying for jobs post-university. The furthest I did get within applying for a placement was for a managerial placement at Aldi. So to reflect on those experiences, although I haven't secured a placement for next year, I do feel that due to the circumstances that isn't an option for me anymore. However, I do think that from my willingness and wanting to research and find out more about different companies that offer placements, I have improved my curiosity skills as I've been willing to try whether I've succeeded or not. And I've also driven myself to work outside of comfortable environments because it is quite daunting having to speak to new people, professionals, and be interviewed. The second goal on my PDP plan was to manage my time more effectively and do this through creating a time log. As you can see behind me is my time log. It's colour coordinated, it's really easy to see, and it's done by day, so it includes my shifts at work, modules, lectures, seminars, it also includes generally what I do on a week to socialise with my friends. From the SWOT analysis, I did realise that a big threat of mine was managing my time between lots of different sectors of my life. So this time log has been really beneficial in assisting me to do that. So from working on this goal throughout the year, it has developed my skill of being driven to deliver, because I've identified and put focus into prioritising each goal, and it's also helped me complete work to deadlines. So through having a plan like this and using little and often amounts of work, it has been really beneficial for me. So overall, this time log I do think has improved my well-being throughout university. So my third goal was to develop a more in-depth understanding of business. So I specifically zoned in on HR procedures, and one thing I did want to focus on this year was to attend an employment tribunal. However, due to the coronavirus, none of them are being held anymore. So I contacted a trade union representative at Usdaw, and I spoke to the lady on the phone, and she kind of outlined the general procedures and processes carried out within an employment tribunal, and it was really helpful to gain that knowledge. Alongside that, due to the pandemic also, I did work temporarily at Morrison's supermarkets, and that is a big contrast to my usual small shop part-time job. So we're witnessing how that big business functions was beneficial as well, because there was a HR team that I could speak to there, which I don't have at my usual part-time job. So overall, this experience was extremely positive and helpful, as speaking to the trade union representative was very informative, and I can take that information back to me at university. And it also assisted me to be personally credible, as I transferred knowledge across the different environments. So I've transferred the knowledge from speaking to the lady and from what I've experienced at Morrison's, and I will incorporate that within my university work. Another main goal of mine was to improve my managerial skills and become more independent. So one way which has improved my managerial skills was that within my part-time job, I have now been promoted from a customer advisor to a key holder. So I have a lot of extra responsibilities, such as cashing up, opening and closing the store, managing other members of staff that I'm on shift with, and making effective decisions for the business in terms of for both staff and customers. So from this experience, I have definitely improved upon my CIPD behaviour of being a decisive thinker and a role model. And I also think having them experiences on my CV will make me more appealing within the graduate market, because I have a lot of showing that I can progress within a company and a lot of skills that I've developed from it. Another goal of mine on my PDP plan was to improve my CV. I do feel like I've done this in a variety of ways throughout the year. First being that obviously I have received a promotion at my part-time job, so I have a lot more different key skills to discuss in my CV. Also, having a temporary job throughout the coronavirus pandemic has been beneficial also, because I've developed a lot of skills that I wouldn't have developed otherwise. I also volunteered at Barnsley Hospice within a fundraising event, and that was really good as well, because it was a whole new environment for me, and I gained a lot of new skills and competencies that I could include in my CV. So reflecting on those experiences, having a role with more responsibility definitely allowed me to improve my managerial skills, which was another goal of mine. I also feel that it allowed me to develop being a decisive thinker, as I had to make a lot of effective decisions quickly. Working at Morrison's, it was a very different environment for me, and I had to show sensitivity and respect for other people's feelings, obviously, as it's an uncertain time, very difficult time. So this allowed me to develop my collaborative skills. Also, the experience at Morrison's, I do feel, allowed me to develop my role model skills, because I had to deliver the expectations and promises and be emotive and handling emotive situations with sensitivity. So obviously working in a new environment so quickly, they had to put a lot of trust in me. And then finally, volunteering at the hospice, I do think I developed my personal credibility skills, as it showed me to be enthusiastic and want to broaden my own experiences. I've also been keeping a record of different things that I've done, so that does include key dates of things I've done throughout the year. So examples of this include in September I started applying for placements, November I attended placement days, December I volunteered at Barnsley Hospice, March I attended assessment centres, and March I also got a job at Morrison. I do have a revised PDP for my final year. My 4 goals for next year is manage my time effectively, volunteer again at Barnsley Hospice, research and decide what my next steps after university are, whether it be a job, a graduate scheme or a master's, and begin applying for what I've decided to do. So I've discussed how I'll achieve this, the support and resources I'll need, what my success criteria will be and my target dates for completion. Overall, a PDP has been extremely beneficial for me this year, and I will definitely be using it next year to fulfil my potential.